I have the grill warming up outside. I'm going to be preparing some cheeseburgers soon. So I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to talk about Nick Bosa. I still had the chance today. Tuesday, 49ers play the Vikings on Sunday. Guess what? Minnesota does not have a good offensive line. Nick Bosa already has 10 sacks in 10 games. Nick Bosa has 15 tackles for loss. That leads the NFL in 10 games. Nick Bosa tore his ACL 14 months ago. He is special. He's a specimen. I mean, this is not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to have one of the most devastating injuries possible for a football player. Turn around and 14 months later, I mean, less than 14 months later, 12 months later, be playing in NFL games at an all pro level. But that's exactly what Nick Bosa is doing. So I got the right about him after the 49ers beat the Jaguars. There you go. Nick Bosa is better than ever, and that's huge for the 49ers in their playoff push. And let me tell you something. Once again, Minnesota does not have a good offensive line. Now, I'm not saying that the Vikings are a bad football team. I'm saying that they can be exposed. And if Bosa gets some help from the rest of the 49ers defensive line, and the rest of that line has been showing some signs of life lately, well, then look out. The 49ers can take over this football game. But he's not only going to need help from the defensive line, he's going to need some help from the 49ers secondary because Kirk Cousins likes to get rid of the ball quickly. 2.53 seconds average throw to release time for Kirk Cousins. That's even faster than Jimmy Garoppolo, who's at 2.55 seconds. So Kirk knows that his offensive line isn't any good. The Vikings know this as well. And their receivers, well, they got two good ones in Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. So they'll play that pitch and catch, quick release game all game long if the 49ers let them. So it's huge in this game for Josh Allen to be good near the line of scrimmage. Emmanuel Mosley be good near the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Ward is indispensable to this 49ers defense. He comes up from free safety and can take on a slot guy like Thielen potentially in this game if Thielen lines up inside, which he often does. And Jimmy Ward will man him up. And that is one huge domino for this 49ers secondary to, potentially cover for 0.5 more seconds per play. Because every tenth of a second matters because you have to give Bosa a chance to work against this offensive line. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm just looking at some of the splits for Minnesota. But anyway, from left to right for the Vikings, you have Christian Darrisaw, Ezra Cleveland, Mason Cole, Oli Udoh, and Brian O'Neill. Out of those players, Brian O'Neill is the best pass protector at right tackle. They believe in Christian Darrisaw as a long-term guy at left tackle, but let me tell you what. If Nick Bosa lines up against Christian Darrisaw, I like that matchup for the 49ers. If Nick Bosa lines up against Brian O'Neill, I like that matchup against the 49ers. If Nick Bosa lines up against any tackle in football, not named Trent Williams, who's on his own team, I like that matchup for the 49ers. Right guard with Oli Udoh, that's the worst pass protector on this Minnesota team. The 49ers would be wise to continue lining Eric Armstead up on the inside and have him work against Udoh. I think they can make some hay over there against right guard or put him up against Ezra Cleveland, who's better, but still not great at left guard. And here's where the complementary pieces, in addition to Nick Bosa, come in. Arden Key, 3 sacks in the last 3 games. Arden Key had 3 sacks in 3 years for the Raiders. The most recent 2 sacks for Arden Key have come against right guard. This is where the best defense is a good offense. 49ers build a lead. 49ers get Kirk Cousins in third downs. 49ers eliminate Dalvin Cook from being a major factor in this game. You can afford to put a lighter edge rusher like Arden Key up against Oli Udoh at right guard. And if that happens, look out because then Nick Bosa is going to have some help. I don't know what Samson Ebukam is going to do. He's been disappointing so far this year for the 49ers. I don't know if D Ford's going to play. I mean, he's eligible to come off IR, but that back injury is so mysterious. So right now you have to manufacture that supplement